With conversations about diversity and inclusion on the rise, one local executive says those discussions need to extend into the boardroom.
John Rogers is the co-CEO and Chief Investment Officer of Ariel Investments. He's joining us now live with a little bit more on this. So nice to see you this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I want to start with this whole issue of more diversity in boardrooms. There's a lot of companies out there that will say we just can't find the talent out there to place in these board positions. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's clear that that's not a good excuse. There is an extraordinary amount of talent out throughout Chicagoland and throughout the country with really talented people that are prepared to go on corporate boards. And we will make those companies stronger when you go out and search everywhere for diverse talent.
One thing I've noticed in the last few days and weeks is it seems like just about every company has issued a statement about racial equality. I wonder, as you've read some of those statements and you move in those circles, does that strike you as just words on paper, or are they putting their money where their mouth is?
I think the vast majority of companies are putting out statements. They're giving donations to great charitable organizations, which is part of the answer, but they're really not changing their behavior. You know, major corporations and anchor institutions in our community spend hundreds of millions of dollars on all kinds of services, legal services, professional services, financial services, technology services, and traditionally have not used African-American owned companies to do that work. We've got to get back to the kind of leadership we used to have where people understood it was important to help build strong Black businesses that would employ people in our community. We could create our own philanthropy and really make a difference. I think that's the part of the equation that people are forgetting.
Okay, and a lot of these companies would say, listen, we are donating big dollars to a lot of educational institutions to try to get more of this talent out there. What should they be doing? Sort of walk me through an example of a company that maybe is doing it the right way, is not just putting people on boards, but training them to have those positions.
Well, there's a couple things that are going on here in Chicago. We have three of the best role models actually in the United States in three different areas. Exelon Corporation, under the leadership of Bill Von Haney, has created a program where they push all of their partners to have diverse talent on the relationship with Exelon. So if Exelon's hiring an investment banker, a lawyer, an accounting firm, a banking firm, they're going to make sure there's diverse talent on the account with Exelon. And that becomes the next generation of leaders. People will one day be partners in those firms. People will help make a difference. They'll also be future entrepreneurs. Secondly, the University of Chicago has a great program where they care not only about having Black students do really well at the university and get into the university, but they care about those Black students being successful once they graduate. And they have a program now where they're working with 90 African-American and minority-owned professional services firms. There's no other university in the country that has a program like that. And then finally, I have to spike out McDonald's. They've had the longest history of working with African-American entrepreneurs. And if you look at the Black Enterprise list of top Black companies in the country, 4 of the top 20 are McDonald's suppliers. And the largest Black business in Chicago is a McDonald's supplier. So we literally have 3 of the best role models of any institutions in the whole entire United States.
John, we only have about 20 seconds left. I wonder how confident you are that when this moment passes, when the spotlight moves on, that 6 months from now, we will see real change when it comes to the makeup of decision makers in these key roles.
For the first time in my 37 years since I started Ariel, I'm seeing CEOs really interested in really moving the needle. So